Welcome to another market update. This time we're just going to go through everything what we have learned during the week, and we just want to figure out what is ahead of us next week. So let's go straight to the charts and see what happened. Okay, so let's check the charts, and let me do the screen recording real quick. There it is. There I am. So yeah, let's go through it and let's see what happened. And yeah, so this is where we are. We are on DXY, and yeah, DXY. That's how the charts looks like for me for the DXY pairs. What was so interesting is that yeah. So last week, these are my prediction which I had last week. As we can see, I was expecting last week we were Friday, yeah. So that's where we was. I said that there will be a possibility that markets might be going to the upside. Let me just go replay mode. I was here. Friday was the Monday, Friday. Yes. So technically we were Friday close. So we closed here. Let's quickly do this one that we see where we was. I think we closed here. It was Friday. This is Monday. I would say yeah. That's where it was. So exactly. So we can see that we can follow literally what happened. I was talking about a lot of stuff. I was talking about the tariffs and I was talking about the big beautiful bill. And we're gonna go through it as well to see where we are right now at the market and what the market is saying regarding the big beautiful bill and the tariffs and etc. etc. So now what it is that's where we was. This was my expectation that it will continuously go into the upside, which happened. Either go to the upside. My target was $95 point 566, which didn't hit, and but I also expected to retest a previous structure point to go to the upside, like we saw yesterday. And the reason was for the 9th of July. The announcement of tariffs in regards of what Trump is going to do will also determine how the market will move. What the overall view is in regards to the whole situation was also accounted for, and especially with the view regarding the big beautiful bill. So I knew that since the big beautiful bill came out, I knew that there will be a potential upside for the market, because the big beautiful bill is good for business owners, small medium-sized business owners. The only people who will actually struggle would be the the low class, as of people who don't low income people. That's the best explanation. Those have no income or very low income, these will people will be suffering. So I did see a move to the downside, which happened, and then I entered there, and then eventually took me out, and now decides to go to the upside. So again, the DXY cannot be traded, but I use DXY as a guideline to know where I want to trade and what direction I want to go throughout the week in regards to the not just the whole US market. And I also said what will happen, and especially with gold and Bitcoin. So we discussed Bitcoin, I believe, but I'm not sure. But I said what I kept saying is Bitcoin is a safe haven and is the place where people, a lot of retail investors, believe in it. And we can see there was a massive move on the 9th, 8th, okay, and then here's the 9th of July. You can see that's where all of a sudden it started going all the way to the almost 120,000 level. And yeah, it's the same thing what happened with XRP, right? Because it shows strength, and people believe in Donald Trump, and Donald Trump we know is for Bitcoin anyways. So now if we go to silver, my initial idea for silver was it will go to the downside, we'll retest somewhere this area structure level, which didn't happen. So I had an outline a new zone, and then obviously it went all the way to the upside. Then I had also a prediction with gold the same way. I was expecting gold to go to the downside and then probably go to the upside, as we can see. With gold, we were Wednesday, Friday. I think Friday was here, right? Thursday, Friday, Wednesday. We were here. Monday, Tuesday, Friday. No, so actually, yeah. So Friday, yeah. So that was the replay mode. Let's quickly play the replay. Friday was Monday, Friday. Yeah, that's it. So that's it. Friday. Sorry. Let me just get my candle out. Stop. Yeah. So that was the initial plan, knowing that it will go to the upside. We'll go retest, which did a retest structure and went all the way to the upside. You can see that I actually lined out that line and I went perfectly and went all the way to the upside, right? Even though the market was giving me a little bit problems, to be honest. But yeah, we initially was able to catch a little bit a nice move, then hit like previous structure point, and I decided to go to downside, which was that's downside, and I decided to go along with it. And I knew somewhere on along the line here, this area, the market is going to reverse, go to the upside, which we can see here on the 4-hour charts. This is what happened last week, right? Bam. And then we have this one. Yeah, I was also Monday expecting the market to go all the way to this neckline, to this area, which I marked out as well. Probably I was expecting, to be honest, to go to the downside, which is Euro GBP, which was a sell, which I took, which is sell, but I was expecting probably to go to downside, but I keep going to the upside. And then we have the same thing with USD Chef. USD Chef on Monday as well. I was expecting to go to the further to the upside, which didn't happen. So I was expecting to go to the upside here at this level and break and go down, but it didn't happen. So I went all the way to the 61.1 level. Didn't break through. Yeah, so that's what happened. And yeah, so Monday as well here, Sunday entry as well, all the way to the upside. We hit target and I came down. I was looking for another entry here, which didn't happen. And then that was a loss for me. That was one win, one loss. And then, yeah, that's it. So that's where we are so far with the charts. And now let's see what is going to happen during the week. And let's quickly just go through the news that we know what we can expect for next week, potentially. And I like to make some few notes myself to see. Normally, I will go through everything and then we will know what we're going to trade. But yeah, let's see what is happening during the week. And then, yeah. So, so one thing we know is like Donald Trump plans to hit Canada with new tariff while warning of blanket hike for other countries, right? That is definitely the breaking news, okay, which came on the 11th of July regarding Trump and Canada. This is something we're going to read soon in a second as well. It says Euro awaits. Hold on. Yeah, Euro awaits letter from Trump outlining new tariffs as it happened. Then we are Trump announced 50% tariffs on Brazil, citing a witch hunt against Bolsonaro. Yeah. Anyways, that's how it is. Latest threats heighten fears that the president erratic trade strategy risks inflation across the U.S. Okay, so now we can see again we have fear, erraticness from Donald Trump, hikes, okay, and all those things. Trump threatens 5% tariffs on Canadian goods. Again, this is charting the global economy. Trump ramps up tariffs again. All right, so we can see there's a lot of things happening, and this is actually the article I want us to. Was it this one or wasn't? No, it wasn't this one. This is it. That's the one I want us to read because it gives it's a good read. It's a good insight of what actually happened and how Trump is actually affecting the market and how the market is actually affected by the economy. So now if you go to the 9th of July, we can see on the 9th of July how the market moved. Okay, on the 9th of July, the 9th of July, 9th of July. So 11, 9th of July, 10, 9th of July, 9th of July. So that was Wednesday. So yeah, so from Wednesday, since Wednesday ongoing, it has been just dropping. The GPJPY has been just dropping. Okay, since Wednesday, Wednesday, you can see how gold from 10 a.m. was literally just going to the upside. Okay, from Wednesday, 9th of July, since the announcement of the tariffs. And why is gold all the way going to the upside? Because there's a lot of fear and uncertainty in the market regarding Trump's behavior. So a lot of investors put money into it and decided to, put money in there because of tariffs, because of fear and whatsoever, right? So that could be the central banks putting the money into gold, buying as much gold possible, China and etc. etc. Because it might affect the Chinese economy or US economy or Canadian economy or all the economy which Trump is actually getting the tariffs from, and potentially probably they decide to buy gold or whatever. So we don't know. So what really happens? But it's a safe haven where people believe in it, and that's why a lot of gold has been bought. We can see Euro GBP again. The knife, no, sorry, that was Wednesday here again. From Wednesday ongoing, it started off going to the upside as well. And the same thing with silver. Silver also made a massive move from Wednesday on going as well, 9 a.m. Wednesday. So then it started going slowly but sure all the way to 38 level just because of the announcement. How has the announcement affected the Thursday? So now on Wednesday with oil, we can see a little bit difference. Oil's prices started going down low as well, and then retested, and then now it's going to the upside. So we're going to see what's going to happen with there. So all these things is important for us to know what happens when Trump makes announcements regarding certain issues in the economy, and this is what is happening. So now, where are we right now? We have, as the U.S. President Nigel deadline came and when the White House launched a range of letters what has been sent out. Okay, so now on the 9th of July, that was the deadline. Okay, Trump officially initially suggests they would strike dozens of deals with the key economies by the 9th of July deadline. But as the 90-day pause ended this week, the president announced a range of new rates for various countries, but delayed the implementation until the next month. Okay, so on the 9th of next month, everybody has to pay tariffs. So which is a good sign for the U.S. economy. Now, how that actually going to be playing out, we don't know, because each country can retaliate in their own way and can make even their own tariff prices even also higher, and that could also be a negative outcome for the U.S. economy, especially. So Trump informed powerhouse suppliers, Japan, South Korea, and a number of other nations that at the start of this week that they will face tariffs of at least 25% starting from August, unless they can quickly negotiate the deal. Okay, so Trump is given an opportunity to negotiate the deal. Again, a lot of uncertainty. On Wednesday, announced he more tariffs on countries like the Philippines, Sri Lanka, and Nigeria, as well as 50% tariffs on production from Brazil. All right, this is what he wants to do as well, 50%. Then we have announcements on Thursday. Trump announced the U.S. would impose 35% imports from Canada. Imagine that. Okay. Despite ongoing negotiations on Prime Minister Mark Carney's decision last month to rescind a digital service tax that faced criticism from the U.S. president, Carney said his government would continue to defend Canadian workers and business in their negotiation and work towards the 1st of August. So let's see what's going to happen. So we can see there's a lot of uncertainty actually literally going on. And let's see the UK. What they see first with the UK. US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said he expected several trade announcements this week. But today, the US has secured just 2 deals with trading partners. The first with the UK, signed on the 8th of March, including a 10% tariffs on the most UK goods, including cars, 0 tariffs for steel and aluminium. A second deal was with Vietnam. All right, cool. So only 2 deals. And we have Europe. So the next deal will be interesting, will be the European Union, right? And China. I don't know. So China's not even included. Let's see if there's anything written regarding China. It says Trump also said on Thursday that the letter will be sent to European Union, your biggest trading partner, today or tomorrow. Last week, the EU and US were closing a high-level framework trade deal that will avert 50% tariffs on all exports from the bloc. Okay, wow. So 50% is a lot as well, which is not good for the European Union and means a lot of money will be, wasted and spent and etc. So yeah, this is what we have so far, right? This is where we are in regards to the whole situation. And now I want to know China and tariffs, okay? Tariffs today. Let's see where we are with China. Let's see. Okay, let's see what we can find. What are China's tariffs right now? Let's see what we can find here. Recently, U.S.-China recent agreement to lower the pre-procal tariff rates to 10%. Okay, reduction from previous peak of 9%. However, due to the other exciting duties, the effect tariffs China's goods remain above 30%. All right, cool. So we have 10%, and tariff rate on most Chinese goods remains above 30%. So yeah, this is how it looks like for now in regards to China. So let's see how China is actually. Let's see what China said. Okay, Trump tariffs live update. Canada struck, but Trump feels like ranking. Okay, let's listen to this one and let's see what is happening there.
We're going to learn a ton of pretty confusing messaging from the Trump administration. There's a lot of different messages here, but I do think you're right to zoom in on this August 1st deadline, because a lot of market observers are taking that as a sign that you can look past a lot of this week. We're going to learn a ton about Trump's trade approach this week. We already have learned a lot about with his post overnight about BRICS, a renewed focus on that you mentioned at the top of the show. But and Trump has announced that letters are going to be going out at 12 noon today throughout the week, with a combination of letters and deals where he's going to dictate rates that will be important. But the most important detail, I think, for markets at the moment is this August 1st deadline, suggesting that traders are going to look past this a little bit, because we may get new rates today, but they're not going to be going into effect, and so no one knows for certain exactly what's going to be going into effect. This comes on multiple fronts here. There's a block of smaller trading nations that are expected to just get a letter that dictates these tariffs, and we get larger nations that are in the process of ongoing negotiations, and they may get dictated as well, but they also may get kind of framework deals announced. A third option here, just to add even more uncertainty, as one of Trump's advisors, Stephen Moran, put it over the weekend, countries could get their dates, quote, rolled. So there could be a whole lot of different ways that this goes, but with the bottom line that there's not going to expected to be a huge number of tariff changes this week, at least in terms of the actual rates.
So all of this then leads to the complications, Jen, for economists and for the Fed trying to figure out when and how the tariff impact is going to be felt. So how are you thinking about, what are you seeing this morning around that?
Yeah, Julie, if you were looking for more certainty, you're still looking for it, right? That tax bill signed on July 4th offers more clarity over the fiscal side and could offer and help boost growth, but that rate hasn't been the source of uncertainty. It's really been the tariff rates. What is the effective tariff rate? How quickly could we see that passed on to the consumer? And what are the inflation expectations around that? And the president said that most tariff rates are going to be set by this Wednesday, July 9th, and will go into effect August 1st. Now, of course, the devil is going to be in the details, but it looks like we could see some more clarity on what the tariff rates could be. They could range, it sounds like, anywhere from 10% all the way up to 70%. And, it's going to depend on how high of a tariff rate we're going to see on a major trading partner, which would have a greater economic impact, versus a higher tariff rate on a smaller trading partner. But the bottom line here, Julie, is that it looks like we could see a higher effective tariff rate, and it's going to take longer for all of this to actually kick in if it doesn't get implemented until August 1st. So that means that the Fed is going to be holding rates higher for longer, certainly through the summer. That is going to deepen the divide between the Fed and President Trump. Remember, it's about how broad these tariffs are and how high those tariff rates are.
Yes, everybody. Yes, everybody. Yes, everybody. Let's do screen this one. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah. So basically, that's how it is. Okay, and we can hear a lot of uncertainty. So we, like I keep saying, because of that uncertainty, we understand why gold is going to the upside, and we understand why silver is actually pumping up as well, and we understand why Bitcoin is moving high as well, because somehow it seems like that Bitcoin has become like a safe haven as well. I keep saying it over and over again. I'm not sure why, what has changed, but I do understand that a lot of retail traders, a lot of people really believe in Bitcoin. So anytime things happen, they believe in the digital money, so they put money into the Bitcoin, and yeah, so just hoping that the economy is gonna go to the upside. Okay, so we don't know how, like I said, how tariffs is affecting the economy on the market in general. Now, and positive. So what does it mean? If the so we have on the 1st of August, that is the date, the 1st of August. This is where we're actually gonna see from that time on, which will be on 1st of August, is the 1st of August, 31st on Friday. Friday is the 1st of August. On Friday is the 1st of August. So Friday the 1st of August, which is in next week, or 2 weeks from now, there will be a massive move. Okay, and that will be either a move to the upside, positively, where there's a lot of hope and expectation. It will literally break here, and then the following week will go to the upside. All right. Right now, we have a little bit of certainty of what is happening. So the big beautiful bill has come out, and the tariffs announcement has been made as well. So now, what I do know, there's a lot of uncertainty, but there are also some few people, traders, believing that the market is still gonna go to the upside. It's more like of a positive up move, as we can see on a daily. We can see a change of move. So what will be a good entry will be like a conservative entry could be literally at this level, right? And then it will tell us how the economy is gonna go. On the first, it's either gonna go to the upside, or just gonna go from, either it's gonna go to the upside here, bam, and then it's gonna go down, a drop, right? We see how the market is gonna be reacting, or it's gonna be a situation where it's literally a lot of positivity going up to, and then just gonna keep climbing to the upside. Really, we have no idea of what is happening, so we have to wait till the 1st of August. But as for now, for the week, it seems positive. Yeah, the same way Bitcoin looks very positive. Looks for the positive. However, what our way with Bitcoin will be a break of retest of structure area. Will be this area like always, and then from there we'll go long. It will be literally a wait at this area, and then keep going to the upside, because we see a little bit of rejection there. But let's see. So if this area breaks, yeah, this area breaks, we expect to keep going short, and if not, then we're just gonna continue on. What I expect could be a retest at this area, bam, and then keep going to the upside. All right. So that's what I'm hoping, that it will go here, keep to the upside. That will be my entry of a discounted price, or at this area. Okay, this is with Bitcoin. So now, so if we are on gold, no, silver. This is silver. Okay, again, silver, we're bullish. Clearly, we're bullish on silver. Yeah, we're still gonna be going long. What could be a potential reject area where I would love to have a discounted price, maybe on the silver, will be here. That would be a good area again. Probably. Stuff is not changing now. There's it. So this is my area. So what I'm hoping, again, discounted price on silver, and then to re-enter at this level, literally at this level here, and go to the upside. Boom, moving this, retest to buy. Let's move this here somewhere here. So that's a good area, indicating a potential move to the upside. And then with gold, the same thing. Would break here, would wait for break and retest, and then would move this here. Will be break, retest, and then go to the upside. So that's what I'm expecting with gold. Yeah, that's option 1. And then option 2, if I take the fib level off, would be, let me see. Yeah, that would be the best entry, to be honest. It will be the best entry, because now if the economy of the US economy is going well, and there's a chance for literally for gold to go to the downside, okay, because like I said, depending on how people are responding to what is happening, if they are full of fear, then it will keep going to the upside. If they're now seeing hope, right? If they see hope, I expect a break of this area, and then we'll go to the downside, probably here or this level, depending, and then trying to keep selling depending on what is happening. But on the 1st of August is where we really know what people really think about the tariffs. So far, we have mixed emotions. That can happen. So that's opportunity number 1, and opportunity 2. If I want to keep buying, what I will do, I will wait for break, retest, and keep buying. If not, I'll wait for break of structure and then we'll sell, right? This is what we do with gold. And again, we have no news. There was no war coming out. There could war come out anytime soon. We don't know what's actually going to happen. So it's still a lot of uncertainty. Where we are with USD Chef, CHF is, so for now today I actually only analyze Bitcoin. I'm just gonna make it simple for you guys. So I'm just gonna be analyzing Bitcoin, silver. I think the silver, Bitcoin, gold, and that's it. So if there's other pairs you want me to analyze, I will do that. But I think for the YouTube purposes, I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm just gonna keep it with gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And yeah, so these are my predictions. Either it's gonna keep going to the upside, we wait for break of structure and go long, or it will go break depending on how the market is feeling, what the investors are feeling. Are they feeling fear? Are they feeling hope? That really determines of what is going to happen next. And the same thing with Trump as well. If they feel hope, then we know Trump is a massive supporter for Bitcoin. So a lot of people will buy and keep buying their Bitcoin dip. Keep buying because of keep buying the Bitcoin. If is a little bit fear somehow involved, it will break, which I hope it will be nice to break, which will be a nice discounted price, and then we'll go all the way to 120 and possibly higher. So that's where we are with silver, Bitcoin, and that's it. So thank you for watching. I hope it was a good session for you guys. If not, if I need to improve something, let me know. And yeah, thank you so much for your time, and over and out. Have a fantastic trading week.